Welcome to Your Personal Realtor, hosted by Eric McKenna with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors. Content and sponsorship is provided by Eric McKenna, and the show is brought to you by CallEric.com.
Well, hello, Beaver County, and welcome to Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. We're here every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to noon on WBVP and WMBA. I am your host, RE/MAX Advanced Realtor, Eric McKenna, and I'm sitting here next to my very good friend, the incredible, he hates when I use that word, the incredible Sir Frank Sparks, producer extraordinaire. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. You know, we mentioned last week on our show that and it got a lot of positive vibes back, so I haven't told Frank that yet, but every time I come in here, every week, Frank gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Well, I appreciate it.
You better watch that. I mean, you're at the point now, like, you know, you might not want to go that next distance. I'm not gonna recognize you, partner.
I got to get to the point where I can go to the beach, because if I go now, the kids try to roll me back in. Well, hey, look, Daddy, one got out of the water.
Oh, no. Friends, it's great to see you. We're with Facebook Live, as we always do. So blessed and honored that our Facebook Live audience from week to week has continued to grow. I got to give Frank a lot of credit for that as well. He helps push that for me. And it was an idea that we started initially a couple weeks in on the show. The reason being is we have videotaped every show, even, I think, Frank, we did show number 1, right?
Yes, we did.
We videotaped them all. And on my website at calleric.com, every show is there in its entirety. It's an anchor. And it's a good reference point for those who missed a certain episode with a certain guest that we had. Or I can tell by the hits, a lot of people are tuning in to those videos. They're uploaded to YouTube. They're on Facebook. They're on my website, again, calleric.com, and a great source of information. What's interesting is I know Matt Pia's shows have a high hit count.
He's paying people.
I don't know, but his videos get an extremely high hit count. But again, folks, this is your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. We are sitting in the Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory Studio here at Beaver County Radio. That's it, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. Once we actually get into some real estate here, which I got a couple of business matters to take care of first, but once we get in that, we definitely are going to welcome your calls. The way to participate is a couple-fold. If you're on Facebook Live, all you got to do, just got to write a message on Facebook Live, ask a question, interact in any way possible. Just keep in mind there may be kids watching. Doubtful, but there may be some kids watching. And you can always call the station here and have any questions you have as well. It's 724-843-1888. And again, it's 724-774-1888.
I got something that I cannot believe that you're not talking about this.
I'm going to get there. Wait a second. I haven't even got through the business part of the show yet.
First. It should have been first.
Moon Township basketball. Am I right?
That should have been first.
Congratulations to the Moon Township High School basketball team.
I'm going to tell them.
Hold on a second. I could not go last night. I could not go. My son went. I could not go. And how bad of a host am I that I can't even tell you the final score? I just know that my son texted me on the way home and called me in this really rowdy bus he was on. That's a little concerning. anyways, I saw the highlights last night, too. Congratulations to the Moon Tigers high school basketball team for winning the WPIAL tournament yesterday at the Peterson Event Center. And I believe the next game is the state tournament, correct?
Yes, they're the 5A champions.
There you go. Okay.
Don't worry, Major. I got your back, buddy.
Sorry, kid.
Coming out, not even. Jeez, that should have been the first words out of your mouth.
Well, anyways, congratulations to the Moon Tigers. I have so many clients and friends in Moon. My children go to Moon. That Moon Township, Coriopolis area has been it's been the majority of my life. So very, very proud of them. And I think the Cornell girls,
the
Cornell girls team, my alma mater, Cornell High School, the girls team was, though they win or they lost, though.
They
correct?
lost,
unfortunately, for the WPIAL Single A.
Correct.
Is that correct? Single A championship. Congratulations to them on an absolutely amazing season.
Mm-hmm.
And I know just from my friends in Coriopolis as well, I've seen Facebook updates all season long, and these girls just went out there and stomped it. So I just congratulations to them too. I mean, that's some hometown folks doing good, Frank.
That's right.
You know, the hometown.
Your
cats
Cornell
doing good.
girls lost to Bruce Fry.
Okay.
Who is one of our color analysts on WBVP and WNBA.
Okay.
Lost to his Winchester Thurston team.
Winchester Thurston.
He is the cross-country coach at Winchester Thurston.
Okay.
So.
Okay, there's a tie-in.
There you go.
Go Cornell.
Another tie-in. James Harrison's kids attend. One of his sons attends.
Someone told me that.
There.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, there you go.
All right.
The hometown people doing great, and I want to know how you good folks are doing. Our Facebook Live family, how are you doing today? Frank, you already told me you're doing okay, but Frank's always doing okay. He's always doing okay.
I'm doing real good this week.
All right, yeah. And you know what? I'm doing well, too. Thanks for asking.
You didn't let me get it out of my mouth. See?
Oh, friends, this has been really, really insane. What a week. What an absolute week. I can tell you in my sphere of real estate, it was an exciting week for me personally. I met some new, I will tell you this, Frank. I met 2 new clients directly from this radio show.
That's great.
They were introduced to what we do. The one actually said they've listened to almost every episode, and I think it was on WBVP.
Okay.
The other one actually caught our Facebook Live as he would. I can't see how he did this, but he was relocating as he got into Pittsburgh. He was surfing Facebook, and we had some mutual friends, and I come up on a Saturday morning Facebook Live.
That's cool.
Now, of course, he wasn't alone in the car, and the person sitting in the passenger seat was showing him the video.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Right.
I think.
Well,
we say he was.
Yeah.
Anyways, but the Facebook Live introduced him to the show, and indeed it introduced real estate and what I do to him. So it was fantastic. And I again, this little science experiment we're doing, it's somehow propagating.
Well, see, and that's another thing that's good because it shows you of all the bad in the world of social media, here is the good of social media.
And it's funny because on the way in today, what you just said was a topic in my brain for a fleeting minute or two. And that was that I looked back on all of the positives that the internet in general and then social media has done with my life. I mean, as many of our listeners know, I was in the guitar business before I did this, and I banked on the internet when the internet hit, and I ran my guitar business on the internet. And then when Facebook and Twitter, around 2006, 7, 8, MySpace was the first one. It really, social media really did an amazing thing for my life, not just personally, which I love it. I mean, for all the positive that it does, the little bit of negative, we can all handle that. But I love my Facebook friends, Twitter, and so forth. And obviously, now that we've been on this show, Facebook Live has been an integral part of getting our message out, along with our listening audience here. And Frank just hit me in the head.
I'm tired of you yelling.
He tried to, but he's brought some food in for me. So, he must be trying to tell me something. Now, listen, I lost a few pounds myself, buddy. I'm on my way. But the point is, he bought me some healthy food in, that's going to be a change for me.
But you're always yelling at me that I don't bring you
enough food. He did, yes.
So
okay, so your humble host, actually was fed today at the station. Now, last week I said it was show 23. Last week was actually show 22.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I started editing video. I went, whoops. So today, friends, thank you to everyone for making this show a success. We are on show number 23. So we're almost at the midway point for the year.
Yeah.
We're getting close.
Well, yeah, you're real close.
All right, friends. Before Frank pushes me to another break, or to our first break, I'm sure it's coming up at some point in time.
Do you want to talk about show number 27? Where show number 27 is going to be?
Well, I was going to let you announce that, but I wanted to actually, before we got to that, if I have time, I'd like to talk about what's going to happen Monday. This Monday, which is 2 days away, I might add, since we know today's Saturday, right? We are live, right?
We're live.
We're live. This is not Memorex. This is live. This Monday from 9 to noon, I'm going to be guest hosting the Teleform show here at WBVP and WMBA, Beaver County Radio. I'm thrilled. We do not have a topic at the moment. That's still up for debate. It'll be fun. It'll be kind of like a 3-hour version of this show to some degree. We don't know if we're going to talk real estate. We're going to talk local issues in Beaver County. We may talk some sports. We haven't decided that yet, but Frank will be my producer. Thank goodness, because I am not learning how to press all those buttons over there. So Frank and I are really going to go at it. But again, if what I think is going to be a positive, friends, for us on Monday is going to be I will be able to introduce not just myself, but our show on Saturday to a different audience. The Teleform is a very, very popular show on WBVP and WMBA. It has a listening base that may not be listening right now to our show, might not have experienced what we do. So it'll be a way for me to cross-promote what we do to some degree, just make them aware of what we do. And based upon the fact that we'll both be on air, that will be, I think, a very, very positive in terms of exposure for what we do.
Yeah, and you have to be, and you hit it right on the head. You got to be ready to talk about everything because a lot of times on that show, the callers drive the show.
I love that, though.
Yeah,
I love that.
So it'll be a fun day for both of us. I'm just coming off of a week of hosting it myself as a guest host. And
so what was the bulk of the questions then? Was it sports related? Was it topic? Was it politically related? What was the topic?
Well,
the general driving topic.
Trump.
Bad or good?
Well, Trump, and then I was fortunate enough this week we have a segment called Ask the Commissioners.
Oh, I saw that. They were in studio, correct?
And in the past, one of the commissioners, the chairwoman, would not come in because there was some personal conflict that between her and Mike.
Politics.
Right, some politics, whatever you want to call it. And we're close friends, went to school together, and I invited her and she came. So that was a big topic, was that
a huge plus.
That she did rejoin the show, and we
awesome.
have all three commissioners in the house. So that was a big topic Thursday and Friday.
That's awesome.
But Trump and local politics, and we just like to have, we had fun all week. Pat Septak and I just grabbed news stories and just had fun with it and ran, and the callers drove the show, and we had a great week.
Oh, we're going to do the same thing. And I do want to introduce what we do here briefly when we get on the air and talk about it a little bit. But it'll be open line. And today, and I want to stress something again, friends. I come into every show with an idea of what we're going to discuss real estate-wise. Let's face it. I mean, we've had some fantastic guests on here in the real estate sphere. Somebody on Facebook, Frank, said, "Make E great again." Now, what an insult. Wait, I'm not great, so you need to make me great again? Do I have to become great away from Frank? How does that happen exactly? Facebook Live, they're a riot. They're a riot.
Well, they hit on one of the biggest topics of the week, and it might roll on to next week.
Okay, I'm ears.
Donald Trump says his motto was "Make America Great Again." A lot of the callers called in and said, "Am I missing something here? Aren't we already great?" And that was most of the week.
I think we had the potential to be greater. How about that?
Yep.
I'll just leave it at that.
That's what I said.
We'll talk about it.
Make America better.
Yeah, I think in life in general, if you're not always constantly trying to improve your situation, your family, everything has to do with your life, your career. I mean, you should be in a constant state of improvement. I remember I heard Anthony Robbins' lecture 20-some years ago, and he was all about continuous improvement, measurable and continuous improvement or something like that. It's kind of a catchphrase for business people, but I really took that to heart, and I can't say I do it every day. I'm guilty like everybody. I fall in my mental traps and all that, but you have to be able to measure your improvement, I think, in life in general, certainly in business, and you have to keep striving for that. So I don't buy into political, speeches or political catchphrases or slogans. I mean, I really don't have any deference to either party either because I'm an independent. But there you go. That's pretty much where we're going to be. So again, coming up this Monday, I will be hosting Teleforum. Is it Teleforum?
Teleforum.
All right.
Telephone forum. Teleforum.
Right on. We'll have open lines. Now, again, my point was as I went the long way around to explain my original point to my good friends here. This show is also content driven by our audience, whether it's telephone, whether it's Facebook Live, whatever it is, it's driven by our audience. Now, I come into the show with an idea. Like today, we're going to take a break from talking about listers. Listing your house is what you need. And so we've covered that pretty well the last couple of weeks, and it's been very informative. And I've gotten a lot of hearty responses on emails. We'll talk about that too, but very, very complimentary. This week, we're going to talk about a unique topic and it's pretty broad. Because I did a lot of research this week and just seeing what other agents felt about this across the country, a lot of blogs. How about this for a wide topic, Frank? What buyers truly want? What they truly want. And of course, everybody's got their preferences, and we know Frank wants a big basement. I'm guessing probably with a room,
man cave.
He wants a huge man cave, right? But in terms of that, all the specific stuff, what generally do they want? And we'll talk about that in terms of basements and things. We'll talk about that, but that's going to be driven, of course, by our audience, by Facebook Live, and driven by our guests. I did have a guest scheduled for today. It doesn't look like he's going to make it, so we're flying solo today, which is good because I want to bring Frank into this show a little bit more than normal. He doesn't know it yet. But again, the topic for today, friends, is what home buyers truly want. You can reach out on Facebook Live, or you also can call 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888, the two most powerful numbers in Beaver County Radio. That's the Brothers Johnson. That's sending me to a break, friends. You're listening to Your Personal Realtor on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. And we'll be right back. Hello, friends. This is Remaxed Advanced Realtor Eric McKenna with CallEric.com and host of Your Personal Realtor, heard every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to noon on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. I really hope you are enjoying today's show. Friends, did you know that I can be your personal realtor? That's right. If you're looking to list your home or buy a new home, call or text me today at 412-613-4466. That's 412-613-4466. Or send me an email at sold@calleric.com. That's sold@calleric.com. I just love it when listeners become clients. So why not contact me today and let me put my social media advertising to work for you. Together, we can reach your real estate goals. This is your personal realtor, Eric McKenna, with Remaxed Advanced Realtors and CallEric.com.
Seven 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888.
Those are the Beaver County radio numbers and probably the most famous in all of Beaver County. Hey, everybody. I think I just blew Frank's eardrums out. Yeah. Hey, friends, this is Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. I'm a realtor with REMAX Advanced Realtors out of Sewickley. Very proud of my brokerage and my family there. And I want to acknowledge some of our Facebook fans, Sarah and Jennifer. Thank you so much for the reach out. Dave Bishop, owner of Big Bang Comics and Collectibles in Sewickley. There's your little publicity there, Dave. Great guy, great store. Check him out if that's your thing. And just so many people, David, and just thank you so much for listening, watching, and being part of this show. The Facebook Live has helped us obviously expand our reach well beyond our listening area. You can participate in our show on Facebook Live with questions. I'll do my best to address them. I'm flying solo on this side today. I don't have a guest. We had a guest scheduled, could not make that work. However, he'll be back on shortly, a couple of weeks down the line. I don't want to tell you who it is. It's a new guest and a new topic for us, but that will happen. Realtors' lives matter. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. These people are crazy. I mean, it's such a great group of people. And to our listeners listening on 1230 WBBP and 1460 WMBA, thank you. You people have driven this show from its inception. And again, call in and participate. Our topic today is what home buyers really want. And that could be 1, 2, 15 things. And there's going to be some unique things. I'm interested to hear what unique requirements people want when they're buying a home. Let's just say you're sitting at home right now and you are not thinking about moving at all. I want you to kind of think about it. What if you were going to go look for a house today? What would you want that might be a little bit more unique than the average person? Or maybe it's a big topic that you would share with most people that you're just adamant about that that house either has to have or cannot have. So I'm going to speak from me as a realtor.
Okay.
One of the pet peeves that I have, and I know Frank and I bounced this back and forth before. I'm going to lay it out there. The bottom line. I see water in the basement of a home. Immediately, I have concerns.
Well,
when I see any kind of water entering the house outside of going into a drain where it's supposed to go, and I know it's tough in this part of the country. We have a lot of sandstone foundations, and and I'm not a geologist. I don't know what the water table is, or I can't speak in scientific terms because the only scientific people we know are Matt Pia and Ed Sickman, right?
Right, exactly.
You don't want to talk science to Frank and I.
No.
But the point being, when there's water in a basement, it's not a calamity, okay? And oftentimes there is a good fix or a remediation, and it's not always very expensive. It can be done in many different ways. There's, yes, doing a French drain can be costly depending on the size. Putting some pumps in can be costly, but in the end, you don't want to live in a home where there's running free water in the basement. I know we joked around. You knew someone that used to decorate it, and it was like a little creek running through their basement, right?
Right.
But in general, water is a huge thing for me too. When I'm looking at homes in general, I as a realtor, it's an immediate alert for me. But again, that's more of a specs thing. That's more of a structural thing. I don't really have any preferences in terms of, layout, decor, but I'm coming to you, right? Frank.
Thank God it's almost time for the news.
No, all right, Frank. So here's the bottom line. Your wife tells you this evening, guess what, honey? Eric's finding us a house, and we're going to start looking tomorrow. What is it in your next home? And you can't even fathom this, I know, because you're not planning on going anywhere. But if you were, give me an absolute must. I mean, it can be something safety related. It could be something space related. It could be something architectural related. What is the biggest thing Frank Sparks has to have in his next home?
Outdoor. Somewhere like a deck or a screened-in porch. A nice outdoor seating area so that I could...
Wait. Somebody said here a man's bathroom.
I'll see now... Now, if they would go back and listen to your old shows, they would know I already have that because I have a Pittsburgh potty underneath the steps in the basement. But
oh my goodness, Jeff, my buddy Jeff Helbling, my high school chum from when we were 4 years old. I haven't seen him in a long time. A man's bathroom, like the one Tim Taylor had on Home Improvement.
There you go. That's good. I love to sit outside here in Western Pennsylvania evenings. So that's where you find me once spring and summer hits is on my deck. I have a 34-foot by 26-foot deck on the back of my house.
Holy smokes.
With a gazebo on it.
He's never invited me over for a frosty beverage.
Well, I didn't know you last summer, so. flat screen TV, and we
Out
hang out
on the deck?
Out on the deck, brother. Flat screen TV, and we hang out there all summer long. We don't even know what's inside the house is except to go to sleep at night.
How fantastic is that? So
that's a requirement.
So obviously, see, and this is another thing about being a realtor. You know, it's a lesson for me. Frank and I, although we haven't known each other for a long period of time, we know each other pretty well. I thought we did. So in my head, when I was going to ask you this question, the first thing I thought was huge man cave, play with NASCAR collection, and everything else. But here, the most important thing for you probably is going to be location and your ability to have that kind of expansive outdoor entertainment for yourself. Am I right?
I would like to upgrade what mine is now.
Okay.
So if I would move, I would want to go with something that I could use, that I could put maybe a wood-burning stove on in the wintertime.
Gotcha.
You understand what I mean?
I
like
gotcha.
maybe an enclosed type porch, but yet I could take all the windows out so I could feel the breeze blow through in the summer.
No, I get it. I totally get it. I'm a person that loves the outdoors as well, too. Are we?
And a 3-stall garage. We're about 40 seconds away.
Huh. Man, so there's a good example why it's always important as a realtor to listen and really get to know your clients, and that's what I aim to do every instance. And we'll talk about that also. Friends, we're going to be going up for the news here in a minute, but I wanted to let you know the topic today is basically what home buyers really want. Facebook Live us questions or call us at 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888. This is your personal realtor with Eric McKenna. You are listening to 1230 WBVP in Beaver Falls and Chippewa and 1460 WMBA Ambridge and Moon Township. And now it is time for Town Hall News.
Beaver County stations for news, sports, information, and entertainment. 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
And welcome back. You are listening to Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. That's me. Realtor with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors out of Swickley. Friends, I'm so glad to have all of you with us today. Our listeners on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA, and our Facebook.
Why, Kyolic? Well, all the numbers.
The ghosts are back. Every show.
So 11 o'clock glitch.
You know, it's like, there's like an interruption of some kind. They actually had the nerve to play Phil Collins on my show.
I could do it again if you want.
No, that was terrible. But anyway, my friends. I still hope you're my friends after this. We've had a dysfunctional show so far today.
Well, you know what? That's. You ever watch the Flintstones?
I used to, yeah.
That's the little green guy that lives underneath the board.
Gazoo?
The great Gazoo.
Great Gazoo. Yeah, well, we got something going on. The Gremlins are definitely taking a hold of the production board today. But we are talking, getting back to real estate, Frank.
Okay.
We are talking what buyers truly want. We encourage you to call in, talk to me, talk to Frank, talk to our listeners about what you want in a home. It could be a fictitious scenario. You may be very comfortable where you are, but if you were going to buy a new home, what's something that's very important to you? It could be something unique that you need that'll open our eyes, or it could be a reaffirmation of something important. For me, when I look for my clients, or I was looking for my own family, number one with me was if I see water anywhere in the basement or water coming through a ceiling or a wall, it's a huge it's a huge concern for me. Something that could be fixed and remediated, absolutely. And it's not a deal breaker at all, but it's something that I have extreme concern about.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're talking about what people require in the house. So let me ask you a question then.
Okay.
What is the number one thing that people require from you as a real estate? I would think it would probably be location of the house, but is that the number one thing they require when they first say, "Hey, Eric, I'm looking for a house"?
It's a good question. I think if you brought 10 realtors in, they would all give you probably one of two answers.
Okay.
One of them would be the location of the house. And what I mean by location is the grounds. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The other five, would tell you school district.
Right. Well, that's what I meant by location.
Okay, so you were talking more about the school district.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two biggest that I see. Is the actual grounds, like the house, how it's the architecture of the house, and where it's kind of positioned. Meaning, what street is it on? How much space do they have? What the view is? Where it faces the sun? Things like that. That and the school district tend to be 1 and 2 for my clients, for my observation. And let's face it, the school district's a huge, huge part of where you're going to live. I am taking a couple clients out after this afternoon, after our show is done, actually, and they're actually living in Philadelphia. They're moving here, in between Harrisburg and Philly, I believe. And we're going to go look at right here in Beaver County. We're going to look. We're looking probably around 8 houses today if we can get in there. Our inventory is so low. if you're thinking about listing your house or you think it's the time, it might be right to sell your house and buy a new house. Believe me, my friends, it's a seller's market. We need your listings. Little aside there. But I'm going out with them, and we have specific locations. And one of the things that's very important to them is they want to be in Beaver County, and they're comparing school districts. And that's a very, very important thing, especially if you have young children and you plan on sending them to public school. Also, certain school districts have higher tax millages than others in conjunction with their communities. So, yes, that's the big thing that I see most importantly, in regards to questions with my clients. And me personally, again, I look for water. Call me paranoid. That's just what I do. I guess some people might be roofs. Again, the number to reach us here, folks, is 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. We do have some questions from Facebook Live here as well. Not questions or statements. My good friend Jimmy Strack has said he'd like to have a community-friendly environment. How about that? That's important to him.
That's very
yes. That's a good one. Community-friendly environment, absolutely. Marianne, how are you? My goodness, we got a good group of people on here.
2 trash heaps on each side of you.
No, and that's obviously your neighbors. Your neighbors are a big thing. And again, folks, that's the one thing about real estate is, it's a catchphrase, but it's true. You can't pick your neighbors. You can't. Now, at the time of purchase, you certainly can. You can choose either to buy the house or not based upon what your observations are. But once you move in, you really can't pick your neighbors. The other thing, too, is about that, you really can't pick your in-laws either. Right. I mean, I have great in-laws. No worries. Not just before anybody starts pointing fingers here. But Jeff Helbling, a good friend of mine, too, is on here with Facebook, and he also said to me that he has friends, and one of the things that he's hearing from a lot of people is they want finished basements as opposed to unfinished. Now, I'm about 50-50 on that from what I hear from my clients, because there are certain buyers that simply want things ready to go. They want to move in, even in their basement. They want it finished. It's done. They don't want to worry about it. They'll make it their own. They'll customize it with wall hangings and paint and all that stuff. But even the basement they want finished. Whereas we have another group of clients that, I got one gentleman in particular, a single guy, and he wants an unfinished basement in the worst way. We have actually walked out of beautiful homes that are relatively new, and they had all finished downstairs game rooms and so forth, which were beautiful, but just not what he wants. He wants to do it himself. So we're actually looking for unfinished basements, and that's always considering going forward. So, again, it's unique to everybody. I just like the, I just kind of like the differences in people's personal preferences. Mm-hmm. So I keep staring at this food, Frank, that you sent over here, and I am flattered because I've been waiting for, I don't know, maybe...
Somebody asked you a question about that on Facebook Live, too.
The diet food? Yeah. Well, that's embarrassing.
Look close.
Hey, Marianne, how are you? Awesome. Oh, anyway, so check this out. Look close. Yeah, I'm looking. It's hard to scroll. See, another little technical glitch we have today that Frank does not know about. Mm-hmm. So I'm embarrassed to tell you, but I want to tell everybody.
Okay.
Again, I forgot my tripod for my Facebook Live. Okay. So it's propped up over here in some kind of conglomeration of cardboard boxes, plastic cups, and everything. And the phone is propped up perfectly. Oh, okay. So yeah, I can't scroll. I'm afraid it's going to fall on the floor. So.
I asked what's up with the diet food, and Jeff Helbling put wow.
I know. Do you see where he's going with that, right?
There's a thing with this, Jeff.
So here's the thing, right? So, he throws diet food at me, and it's true. He knows I'm trying to lose a few. Frank's done it. I'm trying to do it. But there's a reason why I want to lose a few pounds in the next couple of weeks, and that is because, drum roll. Now I cue you. You explain why.
You're gonna. You and I are going to eat some pancakes on April 1st.
I'm eating pancakes on April 1st.
Yes.
On April Fool's Day.
April Fool's, and it's not an April Fool's.
It's not a diet. It's not diet food though.
And it's not an April Fool's joke.
No, it's not. And where are we going to be, Frank?
We are going to be at the 40th annual Beaver County Maple Syrup Festival.
Yes, we are.
I'm going to be there all day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. But you're going to be live from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon at the festival.
That's right. So again, on April 1st, your personal realtor with Eric McKenna, our show is going to be recorded live, on the air live, and recorded live as well, video and Facebook live at the 40th annual.
Right.
Is it Beaver County?
Yep, Beaver County Maple Syrup
Festival. That's right. So maple syrup and pancakes in real estate. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, come out and eat some pancakes
on a Saturday morning. And it's going to be good because I want to come out and meet people, and I would love to see you. And we're going to keep reminding you every week until this event happens to come out and see us. But I would love to meet everybody, even if it interrupts the show. And if you're really nice to me, and I get a nice plate of big pancakes, I might even actually bring a lucky visitor on air with us.
Well, here's the best part of it all.
Yes.
It's all you. That's why I gave you the diet.
It's all you can eat. I know.
Eat.
That's a dangerous environment for me, friend.
Yeah.
You put all you can eat pancakes in front of me. That's a bad thing.
Sausage pancakes. You get some sausage, and then you get all you can eat pancakes, and then sausage is like, if you want 4 links, it's like $1 or something on top of it. But you get your first 4 links for free. So.
Yeah, I know it's funny about this diet food thing. I have to tell you, one of my old managers from years ago when I was in corporate, I'm talking 25 years ago, is watching, Marianne Gremba. And Marianne, if you're still on there, if you're watching, you'll remember this. When I worked for Marianne, I had a day job, I had a real job with I was supposed to wear a tie, I never did. But I was kind of unmanageable, and she'll tell you that. But ultimately, I had to have 2 Diet Cokes before I could actually start my day. And she used to laugh. She goes, I'm just going to give those things to you intravenously because I don't want you walking to the vending machine all morning.
That's good.
But that was the only way I could get myself going I couldn't drink coffee, so it was the diet Pepsi thing. So Marianne, good to see you. I have not seen you in a long time. It's good to see you on here. Facebook Live, again, increasing our reach, and that's what we wanted to do. Friends, before Frank pushes me again to another break, which I know it's coming. You just give me that glazed look. I know it's coming. It's coming.
You're a good 5 minutes away.
Yeah, I know. But friends, I can be your personal realtor. And what I mean by that is if you like the show, you like what we do, you like the concept of what we do, and it's engaging and so forth, I also welcome the opportunity to work with my Beaver County friends. Yes, I work in Allegheny County. I work in Butler, Washington. Got plenty of clients and friends there, and I'm also gaining traction here in Beaver, and I would love the opportunity to work with you. If you're in the market to buy a new home or sell your home, or both, or even if you have any questions regarding real estate or anything you heard on the show, maybe you're thinking about selling your home and you might be interested in the kind of marketing that I do, paid for by me, for my clients, that I do on social media and so forth, in an effort to even have more eyeballs on the internet watching your house, looking at your house, and considering giving you market value for your house. If those are concepts that are interesting to you, give me a call, 412-613-4466. And again, my direct number, anytime, call or text, 412-613-4466. I would be glad to talk to you about what I do. Absolutely no obligation whatsoever. And if you even had questions about real estate and you don't want to call the show, I'd be glad to answer them in private. There's no issues there at all. You can reach me. I'd be glad to be your personal realtor. And again, that's Eric McKenna, RE/MAX Advanced Realtors, and my number directly is 412-613-4466. Call or text me anytime. And you can also go to my website at calleric.com. It's very easy. It's calleric, that's with a C, calleric.com. It's also the sponsor of this humble show. Lots of information on how I do business, a little bit of information on my broker, RE/MAX, and just some of the attitudes that I have toward real estate, some of the ideas that I have. It's an informative website. It's a fun website, but I encourage you to go there. Again, it's calleric.com, and I will be glad to be your personal realtor. All right. Moving right along here. Now, the question is, do I eat this food on the air or not, Frank? That'd be kind of ignorant. I probably won't do that. Although, Frank, I will tell you this, friends, if you haven't noticed, Frank does eat on the air.
And you don't have a camera on me, and my microphone's off, so they have no clue.
You were supposed to have a camera this week, and it didn't come in from Amazon. But don't worry, buddy. I have Amazon Prime. It's going to be delivered today. So next week, Frank Sparks will be on video. Yes.
You haven't even made the comment yet about the other change that I unfortunately have undergone this week.
Well, let me see. You were freshly groomed last week.
Yeah.
All your hair was cut off.
Yep. Now I have glasses on my face.
Yeah. I thought those. Wait. I thought those were reading glasses.
No. I wish. I was devastated. I went to the doctors and they said, "You got to get glasses." I was like, "What?" He goes, "Oh,
at 51."
Yeah, at 50. And here's what's even better. You need bifocals. I was like, say what?
You're behind the times, man. I had bifocals when I was 45 years old.
I got those progressive ones and stuff.
Yeah, so I know. Here's a funny story. It's funny because I just saw Rich. Hey, Rich, what's up, buddy? Kim, thanks so much for tuning in on Facebook Live. Rich and I were at a basketball game. He probably doesn't know this, but we were watching our daughters play basketball many years ago, and it was not at Moon. We were traveling somewhere. Rich and our daughters, Gwen, was on the same team, and I walked past Rich and went up. The first day I had got my progressive, I guess, contact lenses.
Ooh.
So I drove the entire way there. I was fine. I was walking up bleachers and got like a case of vertigo, and I almost fell on Rich. That's why the irony of this whole conversation was like I literally got like, because I guess did they give any warnings when you got those glasses?
Yeah, it's a little tough to walk down steps still, but I'm getting used to it. I've had them on since Monday, so I'm getting used to it.
Well, I have the progressive contacts.
That's next. I wanted to get used to them first.
I went up these bleachers, and just long story short, man, I almost lost it. So yeah, you got to be careful with that, without a doubt. So Frank's over there with glasses, and I just assumed they were reading glasses. He's old like me.
I'm stuck with them forever now. The only time I don't have to wear them is when I'm sitting here looking at the computer.
Well, again, friends, you're listening to Your Personal Realtor here on WBVP and WMBA, Beaver County Radio. We're here every Saturday from 10:30 to noon, if Frank lets me. But yeah, we're here every Saturday from 10:30 to noon. We're here live on Facebook, as we always are. We're kind of winging it today. Our guest did not show, so we're talking about a very broad topic, and that is what people want. What do home buyers want? What do people want in houses right now? If it's something unique, let us know. If it's a broad topic, reaffirm our thoughts on that matter too. All right, we're up against it. This is Your Personal Realtor, Eric McKenna with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors, and we'll be right back.
724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888.
Those are the Beaver County radio numbers, and probably the most famous in all of Beaver County. My friends, we are back. You're listening to Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna every Saturday from 10:30 to noon here on WBVP and WMBA, otherwise known as Beaver County Radio. I am your host, indeed, Eric McKenna with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors. It's my brokerage. We're sitting in the Lachina Drapery and Blinds Factory studio here. I am joined every week by the incredible, he hates that word, that's why I use it, the incredible Sir Frank Sparks behind the big board.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but incredible.
Well, you think you'd be a little more gracious by that, you know what I mean?
I like to mess with you, man. You should know me. I mess with everybody.
Yes, you do.
No matter who it is.
So I got a good question here from Carol on Facebook Live. And Carol, I'm doing my best on you to read this as I possibly can. And Carol's question is, she has a home that is within sight. Matter of fact, I think it's right behind their house. And it's a distressed home, obviously, and it's an eyesore. And she's asking how long it'll take for a realtor to take over and sell it. It has a garden that's overgrown, the weeds, and it's an eyesore. I totally understand. I understand. It really isn't up for a realtor, believe it or not. I can't go there today, I can't really even pursue the paperwork or the process of listing that house. It has to come from technically who the owner of the property is. Carol, you know what? I will off the air. I'll get this address from you, and I will get this address after this show from you. We'll talk about it a little bit. But generally speaking, houses go in for disrepair for a lot of issues too. Usually 90%, I would guess say 90% of the time, it's a good average. I think it's for tax related. Some houses are foreclosed on. Ultimately, some become property of local municipalities. Some become property of banks who desperately don't want properties because they're in the money business, not distressed property business. Could be a lot of reasons why. In some older communities, some financially strapped communities, yes, there are some distressed properties that sit for long periods of time without any kind of upkeep or any kind of interaction from the communities. And I always tend to say, it's not what you want to hear, but the answer generally is to contact your local councilman or your local commissioner and start the process there and try to find out. You can also contact a realtor like myself, and I will try to give you some information on the property. It's available if you're in Allegheny County, at the Allegheny County website. If you're in Beaver, in the Beaver County website as to who owns the property. Oftentimes the tax issues are visible to you from a county standpoint. And it's generally an issue of distressed property, and oftentimes it just depends on who the owner is. It could be the township could have assumed it for tax purposes. It could be bank related, like I said. But it is a problem. It is a problem. I grew up in Coriopolis right now. I grew up in Coriopolis, and I actually have returned to Coriopolis to bought a house there with my wife. Beautiful house. We're very happy there. But there are some houses in that town. It's an older town that, like many other communities, need addressed. So that probably would be the circumstance. I know that Jimmy Straka, Carol's husband, just chimed in that the people walked away from it, and that happens. It does on foreclosures. If everybody remembers the very sad time in real estate during the crash of, they say 2008, kind of like a 2008, 2009 period, that basically ushered in a whole new lot of regulations on our industry, which were very consumer-friendly and desperately needed. During that crash, you had years prior a lot of people getting homes that really weren't qualified for them, and people getting refinanced for homes, and appraisal values being given out on properties that were just not just. So you had people with $300,000 refinancing on a house that really had a market value of $200,000. A lot of people upside down. A lot of people they had no choice. They foreclosed. They walked away from property. So you'll see there's still homes out there. I will tell you this to the positive. It's not in every instance, but the market right now is so tight. It is such a seller's market, meaning that we just don't have enough homes for sale, not enough listings. And we have a lot of people that are flipping homes, and we've talked about this in prior weeks. We'll talk about flipping in a second, but as you know, you've probably seen a lot of television shows where they flip this house and flipper this and flipper that, and it sounds like they're talking about either a seal or something else. But the point is, a lot of people are buying homes, quote unquote, or trying to, on the cheap, renovating them and then selling them. And some people are doing it well. We've got very successful companies that flip homes all the time. So these types of homes, Carol, that are distressed like that, if they've got some potential and the numbers, the numbers add up to someone who wants to invest on it, not only in acquiring the house at a cheap price, oftentimes it's just for the back taxes, and then they'll put some money into it and hopefully make a profit when they sell it, and it's great for the community. A lot of these houses are getting gobbled up, is my point. Some of them, like this one, might have some obstacles in regards to the amount of taxes that might be owed. That's a very good possibility. Or the paperwork or the liens on the property could be a tremendous issue, too, that there's just more liens at such a high dollar value that could be way over what the value of the property is. So otherwise, it doesn't help anybody. It just kind of sits there. And that's not positive either. So could be a multitude of issues. My good buddy Phil's checking in on Facebook Live. Thank you, Phil. A lot of calls, a lot of Facebook questions here, but I hope that answers your question, Carol. And it's a good one because I'm sure it isn't just what I consider more humble communities. It isn't your mill towns. It can be everywhere. I lived in Mount Lebanon for a period of time. There were some distressed properties there. There's distressed properties in Bethel Park. There's distressed properties in every community, and now every community has different ways of dealing with it. But maybe your particular township isn't as aggressive as going after the owner, trying to enforce back taxes, or even working to find a solution so an investor can come in and grab the property. So that's unfortunate. But I'll get an address from you, Carol, off air here, and we'll try to take a look at it for you, and I'll give you any information I possibly can. But that is a good one. That is a caller-generated topic that took us a little bit off our centric topic here, but we're going to go back to what buyers truly want. What do buyers truly, truly want? If you have ideas on what you would want for a new home, even if you're not even considering one, but you have something you just must have, share it with us. 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888, or let us know your thoughts on Facebook Live. Love when everyone interacts with the show. It really adds to the overall character of what we do here as a radio program. Frank, what do you think about high ceilings? A Bill on Facebook Live here saying that he goes in the house and he just does not like low ceilings at all anywhere in the home, so he looks for high ceilings.
Well, I'm kind of tall, so I would have to tend to agree with him. Mainly, the biggest problem for myself being 6'3" is basements.
Yes.
So that would be one of my criteria right along there is I'm tired of having a big noggin on top of my head from smacking my head in my own basement off the ductwork.
Now, and I think it's funny because everybody that owns a home here, if you're on Facebook Live or you're listening to our show, you fall into two categories. You either have headspace in your basement or you don't. I mean, I'm very fortunate that my house was constructed in a way where we got a full ceiling. We got a full ceiling height in our basement, and then some. I grew up in a house that you had to duck. My grandmother's home, a couple blocks away from me, is an older home, 1890 something, and it's a dirt floor still, and you have to duck down there. If it's probably now for her it was great when she was alive. She went about 4'11". It was perfect.
Oh, that's perfect for her.
Perfect, but yes, indeed. Ceiling height's a big thing. I will tell you this personally. Vaulted ceilings are in a lot of new construction. A lot of vaulted ceilings, aesthetically very beautiful if done correctly. I also have some high-end clients right now that I'm working with. They're looking for their final home, their dream home. They've saved and they're in a position financially to buy a beauty. They don't like vaulted ceilings. They think it's a waste of space. They really want to maximize their space based upon their dollar and the size they want. But it's hard. It's hard to find the kind of house that they want in the location they want that doesn't have a huge entryway with a cathedral ceiling. And it's so ornate, and it can be done so beautifully, and it looks so wonderful at times. I get that. But, cathedral ceilings are probably the other end of the spectrum. They are wasted space. If you need space and you've got 4 or 5 children and you're trying to find that quote unquote big old house, that's not going to be a good fit for you.
Right. I agree.
Another point we had brought up here was Bill also says he does not want electric heat. No electric heat for Bill. I would concur. To me, and it isn't just because the gas prices have gone down over the past couple of years either. It's not even that. I just would prefer the gas heat. I think it's cleaner. I think it's warmer. I think it does a better job of heating your house. And definitely right now, comparing the two utility rates, electric heat is not the way to go. Electric heat's kind of also going, in this part of the country, is going to dry out your house a little bit. So keep that in mind in the wintertime. You may actually need to run a humidifier in your home during the winter if you have electric heat. Just keep that in mind too. You'll know if you end up getting a nosebleed or you feel like your nasal passages are all drained out. I've lived in plenty of apartments in my life, and I actually had one of my first homes I lived in had electric heat, and that was an eye opener for me. So I would kind of concur with you on there. Wendy's checking in, says she must have hardwood, no carpeting, so she doesn't want any carpeting. What's your thoughts on having you walk into a home that's probably 30 years old, impeccably maintained? Even the carpeting looks like it was brand new. It's not, though, but it looks like it was brand new. Are you capable of living on that carpet, or would you rip that up and put new carpeting? Love to hear your ideas on that. Frank, what would you do?
I like hardwood floors.
So you would rip the carpeting up just anyways because you just don't want carpeting.
Right.
Okay. If you like carpeting, friends, and you are how comfortable are you actually buying a home and it's already carpeted and the carpeting looks fine? Are you okay with living on someone else's carpeting? I'm always interested in that. I couldn't do it. To me, if every house I purchased and I was carpeting, I had to rip it up. No matter, it could have been installed a week prior probably, and I just have a mental block there where I just have to have it removed.
Yeah, that's as you're saying it. Yeah.
Well, I guess if there's a lot of variables, if there was pets there, if they own dogs, if they own cats, if they owned an Easter bunny, any kind of rodent running around there, any kind of mammal running around on the flooring can be an issue. We had a house that we marketed where the seller, they had triplets, and the first 2 years of the triplets being there because of just feeding the triplets and just everything else.
Right.
I mean, the kids are young children, as many of you know, are hard on floors as well. It's not just animals as well. So a lot of people, I feel from my client base, they actually in their mind when they go look at a house, oftentimes, regardless of the condition of carpeting, in their mind that carpeting's coming out. Even if it's being recarpeted and they're not using hardwood, that carpeting's coming out.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
In listings, have you ever had to recommend, or how do you go about, and you bring a valid point there with that, like having to bring in like biotronics to, like maybe somebody's a smoker, their house smells bad, and you want to have that smell out, because obviously as a smoker, somebody wouldn't know that, but when you walk in, myself, I'm not a smoker, never have, it smells like an ashtray, and you want that smell out. What do you make recommendations like that to people to get their house together like
absolutely. That? One of the most difficult jobs that I have as a realtor, one of the most difficult jobs I have is to carefully, tactfully, and I like to say lovingly, explain to my client who's listing their house that there are issues that we need to address, whether they're cosmetic, odor issues, could be carpeting, and it's tough because remember, when you live in a house for so long, and we're all guilty of this, if you live in a house so long, you get used to things.
Right.
Those things might not be prevalent to you, and it's hard. It's the easy part of this job. I find it a challenge, so I embrace it, and every client's different. But I will be honest with you. If I walk through your house and you ask my honest opinion, you're going to get it in a very tactful and a very pleasant way. And I'm also going to provide you the reasons why this could be an issue and what we can do the cheapest way possible so it doesn't get into your pocketbook. That's not what we're looking to do, but give you options to get that matter corrected. Yes, heavy cigarette smoke is not so much apparent anymore. Smoking is not in anymore, thank goodness. It's not in. I don't believe smokers should be in any way discriminated against, believe me, at all. But what I'm saying to you is it's not in. So less and less homes we walk in, unless it's an old estate or something, where it smells heavily like smoke. But I can, believe me, I walk in, I can get right by that front door. I know what I'm facing. So yes, if we're going to list your house, we got to work on that. And oftentimes, when it comes to smoke, you got to rip the carpets up. You could clean the carpets and clean the carpets and clean the carpets. We talked about floors, and when you clean your carpet, sometimes it's worse when you're done and it dries than it was when you started. Right. So, yes, there are firms that specialize in that kind of stuff. Bactronics is a great firm. Serve Pro, I can just name them on and on. They do all kind of remediation, water remediation. They do all kinds of things like that. So yes, smoke is, and that's a good one, Frank. Smoke is a big issue, but my job as a realtor is honesty more than anything, and I have to be honest with my listers in regards to what I call deficiencies, which is a tough word to use, but it's deficiencies in your home that may cause you to get less than market value, and everybody deserves market value or more for their house, and that's our goal. So, yeah, honesty is a big part of that.
Well, a lot of people don't know either because realistically, you become your environment. So
There's
if
no
you
question.
have animals and stuff like that, they might smell, but you have no clue they smell because you're used to it.
Hey, I love dogs. My dogs are awesome, but I have to keep in the back of my mind, if I'm selling my house, there might be a non-dog person going to walk in and might want to buy it.
Right, exactly.
So you kind of mediate that all out, and that's the realtor's job to do it. Okay. We're up against, this is our final break, right, Frank?
Correct.
All right, we're going to come back with our last segment of the show here, friends. And thanks to our listening audience and the incredible Facebook Live. We'll get back to our Facebook Live questions as well. We got one from Robert. This is Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna on WBVP and WMBA. And we'll be right back.
The point.
Hello, friends. This is Remaxed Advanced Realtor Eric McKenna with CallEric.com and host of Your Personal Realtor, heard every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to noon on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. I really hope you are enjoying today's show. Friends, did you know that I can be your personal realtor? That's right. If you're looking to list your home or buy a new home, call or text me today at 412-613-4466. That's 412-613-4466. Or send me an email at sold@calleric.com. That's sold@calleric.com. I just love it when listeners become clients. So why not contact me today and let me put my social media advertising to work for you. Together, we can reach your real estate goals. This is your personal realtor, Eric McKenna, with Remaxed Advanced Realtors and CallEric.com. And welcome back. You're listening to Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. Every Saturday here from 10:30 to noon on WBVP and WMBA, Beaver County Radio. And, of course, a way to participate in our show, my friends, is 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. The most two famous phone numbers in Beaver County, in my humble opinion.
All right, and doing my job as the producer.
Okay.
Is it Robert McKenna?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Rubber Bobby. Yep.
All right,
Yep.
he has a question for you, and also let you know that our friend Mr. Mike Lisakowski is watching at this time. So hi, Mike.
And Mallory's watching too.
Yes. All right. He said, I've lived in apartments for so long, and every apartment already had carpet. That being said, when I moved into my house, the carpet was immaculate. The home was owned by an older lady. I kept the carpet. It still looks wonderful to this day.
Yes, and it can happen. And you're an example of a very studious home or apartment. We're talking about this apartment, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're tidy, and you took, and that's ultimately what any landlord would want. They'd want a tenant to be so fastidious. How about that for a big word?
When he moved into his house, it was owned by somebody older. So
okay, yeah, I mean it can be done, absolutely, and if you're comfortable with that, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I mean, and there's good carpet cleanings. There's no question. I mean, Frank knows all about it.
Yep.
Frank's a floor guy. You know, he gets it. I just know a lot of my clients are already in their mind thinking if they see carpeting in a house, that's coming out, they're going to put their own in. And I get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Because most houses are inhabited by people who have animals. I mean, I don't know what the Realtor.com percentage is now. A couple years ago, it was like 68% of American households had dogs.
wow,
Dogs, not just pets, dogs. Yeah,
Oh.
so gotta love your dogs, right? And the incredible Mr. Bob Fry walks into the studio. Always good to see you, sir.
Bobby Fry in the house.
He's in. I mean, that's always sad when I see Bob, though. Nothing personal. It means my show's coming to an end here pretty soon. Friends, this has been a great show. Frank and I have winged it on our own. We had a guest scheduled, couldn't make it, but he'll be back in a couple of weeks. I'm not going to tell you who that is because it's a new topic for us. But again, you're listening to Your Personal Realtor every Saturday, 12:30 to noon here on Beaver County Radio. We're always live. We videotape, and it'll be on my website, calleric.com. We will professionally edit these videos here, and they're wonderful. They're archived. We're on show number 23. We've had multiple guests here. We've talked about many conversations in regards to different topics of real estate. These videos, you can go back and look. A lot of laughs in there. There's definitely a lot of laughs in there, Frank. You got to admit that. But there's also a lot of great information, a lot of great opinion from both our listeners that call in and our Facebook Live guests here. Love talking real estate with you. Friends, as always, I can be your personal realtor. That's right. I work in Beaver County extensively. I have met so many wonderful people through this show the last 23 weeks. I'm completely humbled. If you're thinking about listing your home, and we need listings, no question, it's a great time to sell. If you're thinking about buying a home, maybe it's your first. Maybe it's not. Doesn't matter. Love to talk with you. My personal line to me, my personal phone number is 412-613-4466. It's on all this signage here for my Facebook friends. They're probably reading it backwards. I apologize for that. That's just a Facebook thing, not me. But again, to reach me directly is 412-613-4466. I would love to talk to you about listing your home, helping you buy a home, or both, or just answer general questions you have in regards to real estate or how I work. I do a lot of Facebook advertising at my cost for my home listers. It really has helped sell properties at market value. It really has. It provides more eyeballs looking at the listings, all over Zillow and Realtor.com. But Facebook's such a huge part of what I do, not just with Facebook Live, but our whole marketing in general. I got a good feel for it. Love to talk to you about how I can do that for you. Again, at no cost, mind you. I'd love to be your realtor. Again, it's 412-613-4466. Again, it's 412-613-4466, and I can be your personal realtor. Okay, we're moving into the final segment of the show here. We are talking about what buyers truly want. Facebook participation has been impressive today, I have to tell you. We have had a multitude of input. How about this one, Frank? Bobby D has emailed me on the show and said he will not buy a house. He will not buy a house that has a bathroom that has only a shower. He must have bathtub and shower together. Hey, bathrooms are huge. We could do a whole show just on bathrooms and how important they are.
Right.
So, I mean, kitchens and baths, that's always the tagline for homes. It's true. It's true. Mallory is watching here, and Mallory is a great client of mine, and her husband, her new husband, I might add, the Goodling Adventures. Okay, that's kind of like they're. I've watched this. It's been beautiful. I worked with them a year ago. They got a wonderful home in Beaver County. this young couple has kind of gone on these treks and these adventures all through their year before they got married, and it was called the Goodling Adventures. And Mallory, we all watched it. We all love you. But they got a beautiful house, man, with great architecture. And I remember, we were looking at houses prior, and she was like, "Hey, I'm adamant. I got to have, she was turning down bathrooms that didn't have a bathtub and a shower together. Just a shower stall doesn't work for a lot of people, and I get it. Hey, who doesn't like to soak in the tub? I mean, come on, Frank. I mean, when you're sore, you did some athletic stuff, or you want to soak in a tub, you got to have a tub, right?
Right.
I get it.
Exactly.
I get it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's shower stall. Yep. Now, conversely, a single guy, bachelor out there, he might be okay with a shower stall. Different needs, different people. But Bobby D, I'm with you, my friend. I like a full, complete bathroom with a soaking tub as well as a shower. But that's just imperative for him. Friends, one thing we didn't talk about in regards to what I feel buyers are imperative about the quality of, and that's the kitchen. We haven't touched on that here, and I'm surprised it hasn't come up on Facebook Live yet. But kitchens are a huge thing, and you talk to any appraiser, any good appraiser worth their salt, and you really have a conversation with them. I mean, it's all driven, yes, location, school district, all that. But once you get inside the house and you're looking at the amenities, am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah.
Amenities. Oh my goodness.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Hey, grammar, science, not our thing. Amenities. The quality of that kitchen can really drive the price of that house, and it can give an overall feel for the whole first floor. And that's where you spend most of your time with your family. So, granite, quartz countertops, maybe some island bars, all updated appliances, a lot of hardwood in the kitchen. Hardwood or ceramic tile or engineered engineered ceramic. How about that? That quote unquote material they use that actually looks exactly like ceramic tile, but it's not. Wears better, works with better. Anything but carpeting in the kitchen. That kitchens are a huge part of it. And I think today, if we probably had a male dominated interaction so far on this, Frank. If we would have had more female participating on the Facebook Live, we probably would have heard more about kitchens, because I know when I go into a home and I look for my buyers, whether I have my buyers with me or I'm out searching for houses and viewing them, for my buyers that are out of state or can't make that appointment, the kitchens are always one of the first things the buyers want me to take a picture of or a video of. And it's not just the women, it's the men as well. The kitchens are a huge part of it. Now, another thing that people concern themselves with on homes, and rightfully so, is more structural, but that's the roof. And the difficult part about viewing a house for the first time and making an evaluation on a roof is, number one, most people viewing a home are not roofers. Number two, not all houses are ranch homes, meaning that it isn't easily accessible visually to see what's on that roof. So oftentimes, we have to really, really rely on the information on the seller disclosure, which is that long piece of paperwork that the seller fills out that explains all the virtues of the house and the ins and outs and, what the history is and so forth. Hopefully will give us ages on the furnaces and the hot water tanks, and any particulars, and hopefully have an age or some kind of information on the roof. Maybe the owner had the roof replaced. Maybe they did not. Maybe the prior owner did, and they know when it was done. But we have to kind of rely on the seller disclosures to give us good roofing information if it's a 2-story or a 3-story home, because we just can't visually see it. Matt Pia, a great home inspector, when Matt goes up to do a home inspection, he uses a drone on any property that's 2 or 3 stories. He sends that drone up there, and he takes high-quality stills and video to give a complete evaluation of the roof for his client. But the thing is, we don't have that home inspector when reviewing. So, again, as important as roofs are, and they are extremely important, because then it comes back to that nasty thing about water entering the house where it shouldn't. It's important, obviously, when you're looking at a home, to get information. Pull that seller disclosure if you can't see the roof. And, some ranch homes, we can do it ourselves. I mean, I know enough to be, quote-unquote, dangerous. I mean, all realtors that are worth their salt and are in this business for a while, understand from working with inspectors what, bad signs and the deficient towels and things like that. We can give you an idea that maybe there might be an issue or two with the roof. But if we can't see it, can't help it. So roofing is a big thing. It wasn't mentioned here until the end as a concern, but I would not be surprised if many people the quality of the roof, because of the expense that could be involved there, it could be a linchpin to buying a home. No question about that. No question about that. This would be Gwendolyn, same name as my daughter. Gwen is emailing me right now telling me that she will absolutely not consider buying a house if it does not have an eat-in kitchen. That's new. That's interesting, because I don't find that to be a trend anymore. Yeah. I think it's because of our lifestyle, to be honest with you. I think more and more homes you're seeing more galley kitchens or galley type of kitchens, or you see kitchens that have an island in the center, which, I mean, some people may...
That's what I have.
Yeah, it may turn into something like, I guess you theoretically could say, hey, with some high back chairs or stools, you have an eat-in kitchen.
See, what we did was we turned ours from, we cut the dining room and the living room, dining room and the kitchen, took out the wall and put a big breakfast bar down the middle of the room.
Yeah, that's been done with a lot of older homes,
yeah.
and I think if done correctly is awesome.
Oh, it created a ton of room, and it looked really nice. The guy that did it for us did a very nice job.
Right. Well, you would think with the mobile, here's the thing. What I'm noticing, too, on new homes is dining rooms are becoming a thing of the past. Mm-hmm. I'm a little melancholy about that. It's kind of sad. I mean, Frank, we both were probably raised in households that we probably ate in the dining room, right?
Every day.
Okay. So... yeah, but dining rooms, and I think it's because of the way lifestyles are, kids' recreational activities, people working different hours, husband and wives passing each other in the night, shuffling kids around. The sitting down in a formal dining room, it doesn't happen often, and quite frankly, it's not a big requirement for new home construction anymore. They call them great rooms or family rooms or entertainment rooms. Mm-hmm. So you would think that that's the trend, that an eat-in kitchen would be something in more demand.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But it's not what I'm saying.
Well, see, for us, the kids are grown and gone, and you'll learn this because your kids are getting closer.
No, don't remind me.
But when the kids are grown and gone, she works different. She works during the day, I work night, and then I work some days. So a lot of times we always do sit down and have dinner together, but it's stupid to sit at the dining room table, so we just sit at the breakfast bar and have breakfast and have dinner.
I get it. No, I totally get that. And that to me would make a lot of sense. So I understand Gwen's desire to have an eating kitchen. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And
that shocks me. That's unusual request anymore.
It is. And you're seeing a lot of open concept kitchens now. I mean, if I hear that one more time, open concept. That's all anybody talks about anymore. But again, Frank, are we coming up on the last couple minutes of the show here?
You've got about
how's this happening?
3.5 minutes left.
It's just crazy. It's crazy, friends. My goodness gracious, where does the time go? I want to thank everybody for tuning in today for show number 23. Yes, it has been a success. We have engaged once again, both on Facebook Live and through telephone calls and text messages. I got 2 texts actually here while I was sitting here. That was a shocker. And then we got a couple emails. So we are having multiple interaction, which is wonderful. I mean, that's what we wanted. The idea from the beginning, Frank, was to get multiple channels of communication going on, and that's what we've done. Yeah, and it's great. I only got a couple minutes to spout this out, so I will tell you, friends, again, you are listening to Your Personal Realtor on Beaver County Radio. I am your host, Eric McKenna with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors. Love that. Love to say that, I will tell you.
Don't forget about Monday.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Monday. We're going to talk about Monday in a second. Friends, I can be your personal realtor anywhere in Beaver County, Allegheny, Butler County, and Washington. But to my good friends in Beaver, I'm meeting more and more clients and friends out here, and it's very rewarding. It's all because of this show and your participation in it. Thank you so much. If I can be of help to you, listing, selling, or just discussing real estate, call me directly. Write it down. I'll give you 5 seconds to get a piece of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. 412-613-4466. Again, 412-613-4466. Call or text me. I will get back to you promptly, help you any way I can regarding real estate, my friends. Any way I can help you, I will do my darndest. Also, I am going to be here Monday from 9 to 12, guest hosting an episode, I would like to say. I love that word too, Frank. Episode. Guest hosting an episode of Teleforum, the incredibly popular show here on Beaver County Radio. I am honored. I want to spend special thanks to station owner Mark Peterson, the Grand Poobah. And, of course, I'll be humbly happy because I'll have my producer with me, and I don't have to wing it alone and press a bunch of buttons that I don't know how to press. So
that would be fun to do that, though.
It would be.
Just put you there and say, here, Eric.
It would be. I do want to send a final shout-out here to the official Facebook group for your personal realtor, and that is Moon Connects. Shout out to moderators and friends on there, Sarah and Jennifer and Steve Dish and Caroline and Colton and everyone else on there that I'm missing. I apologize. Thank you, people, for the continued support, not just of this show, but me personally and my business and the business clients that I have in Moon in the airport area. That group is incredible. Again, on Facebook, it's Moon Connects. What a great group of people. Cannot thank them enough. Really can't thank them enough. Next week, we are, hopefully, if it's all possible, we may indeed be able to snag our guest that couldn't make it today. And again, that's going to be a very, very deeply kept secret, Frank. Do not divulge that at any point in time.
I would do no such thing.
Don't divulge that. It's a new topic for us. And friends, also, finally let you know, if you are a contractor in the Beaver County area, or you service Beaver County, or you know someone that does, if you are a flooring expert, a painter, a roofer, a concrete person, and you're interested in being a sponsor of this show, sponsorships are now available. That's right. You can be part of your personal realtor. You can sponsor a segment. You can sponsor the whole show. The benefits of that is not only do we want your advertising on our show, we want to help to get the word out to our clients, to my clients, to our listeners, and to the people who subscribe to this show. We also want you on the show. So part of the sponsorship program that we're offering is the opportunity a couple times a year for you to come in studio and promote your business. Talk about unique things you do, not just your business, but talk about flooring in general, or concrete work, or roofing, or windows, painting, anything you have to do in the real estate business that can help our clients. We are encouraging, if you're interested in sponsoring your personal realtor with Eric McKenna, we are now going to do this. It's a big thing. We're going to talk about it more next week while we're on the air. But if you have any questions about that, contact me directly at 412-613-4466. Again, sponsorships are available, and it'll include some on-air airtime. Call me for your personal realtor with Eric McKenna, 412-613-4466. My friends, we're up against it. 90 minutes have come to a quick close. Special guest, not here, but the amazing Sir Frank Sparks, my producer, is. Thank you again, sir,
Yep,
as
you got it,
always.
buddy.
Thanks to Mark Peterson. Thanks to our Facebook Live crowd, and everyone here listens at WBVP. I am your humble host, Eric McKenna, and you've been listening to your personal realtor with me, Eric McKenna from RE/MAX Advanced Realtors. And until next time, friends, which will be next Saturday at 10:30 a.m. sharp, be good to each other.
All right. Talk to you Monday.
You betcha.
All right. Thanks for listening to Your Personal Realtor, hosted by Eric McKenna with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors. Content and sponsorship is provided by Eric McKenna, and the show is brought to you by CallEric.com. Tune in next Saturday at 10:30 for another edition of Your Personal Realtor, hosted by Eric McKenna, right here on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.